Hey folks, welcome back to Chatti Patti. Now, those of you watching along will see that I'm not in my beautiful orange studio. I'm on the beautiful stage at Live Theater. This was our first attempt at a live recording, which we did at the end of the Trans Performance Now Festival with Laurie Ward. It's a wonderful conversation, and I hope you enjoy. So, without further ado, operator. Hello, this is Patti Boo Rae. Chatti Patti.
Oh my God! Thank you, Laurie. Please, that's for you. Thank you. Wow. Really feel like I'm on television. It's confusing because this is a podcast, but also it's recorded, and also we're in a theater, so it's really transmedium, if you will. Welcome everyone to the first live recording of Chatti Patti, a podcast from Curious Arts and Patti Boo Productions. I am Patti Boo Rae, and I'm joined today, of course, by the wonderful Laurie Ward. I'm so excited. This weekend is actually my first time up here on the Live Theater stage, the corner office of stages, and I can't think of a better place to chat to Laurie. I've known Laurie for a few years. I guess the first time I met you, I was performing in a piece that you wrote, which was performed at Alphabeti Theater. So ever since then, I've been like floating around, keeping tabs on your work. I really love it, and I was very excited to get to watch the sharing of the next piece today. But I'll introduce you for anybody who doesn't know who you are. Laurie is a performance artist and a writer. You are half of Piss Carnation with Charlie, which is a trans femme theater making duo. Your work often explores the kind of cultural reception of the trans feminine body, primarily through the aesthetics of the irreverent and the abject. Your past work includes 52 monologues for Young Transexuals, Ugly Sisters, which is on now at Soho Theatre, if anybody is going back to London tonight. Those were Piss Carnation shows. And then you also made a show called Etudes 1 to 4 with Race Collective. So, Laurie, welcome to the show. And I'm going to ask you the first thing I ask everyone, which is, Laurie Ward, how do you answer the phone?
How do I answer the phone?
Yeah, like if it rang.
Hello. That's it. Thank you.
It's important. It's important because people are forgetting how. The panic in people's eyes when I ask them that question.
Sorry, you did actually say you were going to ask me that, but I totally forgot.
I've never seen you look so frightened. But no, people don't remember how to take a phone call anymore because people only call if they're collecting a debt or have bad news.
Right, I do tend to answer the phone with a kind of like suspicion and
fear
skepticism.
And a timidity.
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
I can see that. Laurie, I would love to know what makes you tick as an artist. You're a fascinating writer and a performer. What are the things that motivate you and inspire you to continue to make work in quite a challenging climate?
I think the first thing I would have to say is like being in a duo with the incredible Charlie Cowgill, we kind of like, on some level, like a lot of our process is doing it for each other, trying to make each other laugh, trying to challenge each other, trying to push each other further, kind of doing like getting into dialectics as a duo in the writer's room. So we kind of like make each other tick. And I think simultaneously we're like living in a moment where there's like brilliant kind of trans cultural production on the up. Like I'm thinking recently, like I've totally devoured and loved Stag Dance by Tori Peters, and I Saw the TV Glow and this kind of thing. So I'm really like motivated by like these like steps forward in trans cultural production, but also feeling that British theatre is kind of slacking, or is kind of like, we need some more kind of energy, and I think we need some more challenge going into British theatre from trans people and particularly trans femmes. So that's, I would say, what is motivating me at the minute.
Could you just pitch I saw the TV glow to me and why you liked it, because I didn't get it.
You didn't like it, girl?
I
No,
didn't like
let's
it.
get into it. No,
I thought
I
it
think
was spooky. I liked the ending, which was very scary.
No.
But the first two parts.
No, I think you're so right to like set this to set this tone, because I'm finding it kind of political that I'm here talking about trans theatre in front of like all of trans theatre. I feel like I'm gonna go up in flames, like if I say something. But I saw the TV glow. I think it was great because it addressed transness on the kind of level of metaphor and atmosphere, and it didn't attempt to kind of put like spoken language to the experience of repression, and it kind of used the kind of scenography and the kind of like the aesthetics of the film as a way of addressing the force of repression. And then I found it so incredibly cathartic. I just found it like such a profound tragedy, and I'm going to pin tragedy, I'm going to come back to her.
Right.
I found it such a profound tragedy that we were bearing witness essentially to like a life unlived. And I think that this is like a really brilliant kind of angle from which to skewer how vibrant transition is and how kind of urgent and necessary transition is in a way that avoids trans joy. Speaking of like going up in flames, but in a way that kind of avoids maybe a kind of more vague or more linguistic way of addressing how transition leads to happiness. This almost did it through like negative space for me, and it spoke to how like tragedy emerges when you take the wrong choice and you don't transition.
Yeah.
And I found that harrowing, and I found it like one of the first examples that I've come across of how trans art can really be in dialogue with tragedy as a form, and can really kind of deliver on the promise of tragedy as addressing these huge feelings.
Well, see, so I actually agree with everything he said. So I think the problem is just my attention span in that case. Laurie, you told me that if you were a beverage, you would be an espresso and a sparkling water. Or I think you said that's what you wanted to be.
That's
Perhaps
what I
it
would
was
love to be.
aspirational. So we've gone with the aspirational
Oh my God.
approach today. So you've got your espresso and I've got some sparkling water.
Oh my God,
But
that's incredible.
what do you
Thank you
think
so
you would
much.
actually be? Oh, don't worry, darling, I didn't do a thing.
Okay, so if an espresso and a sparkling water is what I aspire to, I think what I actually am, I would go with like a Negroni.
Wait, that's...
What?
Sorry, I thought
you
you
don't
were
like
gonna say
Negronis,
I
girl?
thought you were going to do something very, like, uncool. I think for many people, a Negroni would be aspirational.
Well,
But you...
I'm not up here to front, Patti. I feel like I'm on like the Hunger Games when they do like their talk shows. I feel like I'm like about to enter the arena with all the other trans artists
Well, it's
and
all
like fight for a project grant.
the bleached hair in the audience is kind of giving Capitol
It
vibes.
is,
There's,
yeah, for
there's some
sure.
crazy outfits, so I think that's probably
Yeah.
why. And of course, I'm giving Caesar Flickerman here.
Right. I would say a Negroni. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like slightly bitter, slightly hard to swallow.
You love it or you hate it.
Um,
Controversial, divisive beverage. I love them though. I love them.
well, that's just as well.
And you can't please everyone. You can't please everyone, and I don't think anyone should try.
Exactly. I'm comfortable being an acquired taste.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Yeah, snaps for that.
Thank you.
Laurie, speaking of not pleasing everyone, I would like to know what grinds your gears. Is there anything that you're just a little annoyed about at the
This
moment?
cup is wearing me out. I don't know how to drink from it. The handle
can't
is
possibly
tiny.
clutch
It's
it.
like I can't get my fingers through it. Okay, sorry. The question was what grinds my gears?
Yeah.
In terms of like theatre or
In terms of anything.
oh god, anything.
Well, but yeah, let's start with maybe broadly
Yeah.
in the world of trans performance.
Okay, I guess we are at the trans performance now.
I've been told. Trans performance win?
Now.
I've wanted to do that
Hello.
all weekend. I was so worried no one would help me out. So yes,
I think what grinds my gears right now, lazy reviewers. That's what grinds my gears. Thank you for the snaps, everyone. Sorry, it's quite an earnest answer. But especially like presenting work as trans people, I'm speaking particularly like from the perspective of like our Piss Carnation shows. Presenting work as trans people, so often we get the experience reading reviews back that they're like reviewing the idea of the show. They're almost reviewing the discourse surrounding the show. So often our reviews about Ugly Sisters, which is about Jermaine Greer and kind of TERFs broadly, it will begin with, in the wake of the Supreme Court ruling, da-da-da-da-da-da, and it will almost be like a review of like contemporary debates about like feminism and trans women, and then we'll be like 4 stars, and won't kind of... But it won't really take the time to like analyze the formal choices at play in the work. And there are so many creative decisions that have gone into the work that we're making that just get totally elided because people are just talking about like us being trans. This is because like we create work that is about trans femininity and is about transness and like has a strongly political dimension, but it's almost like our formal choices are just invisible. And I wish that reviewers, and partly it's, you know, not their fault because like we're living in times of austerity and most of these people aren't being paid and they're kind of doing it at like midnight, probably before work the next day or whatever. But I wish that reviewers took the time to really get into and analyze the formal choices of a work and recognize that when people are making work from marginalized perspective, there's still craft there, and would take the time to concentrate on that in their reviews.
Yeah. Are you piss or carnation?
I'm Carnation.
No, but genuinely, I have wondered where the name came from. I've never asked you.
So towards the end of our first show, which was a verbatim show, 52 Monologues for Young Transexuals, which we actually performed on this stage. That's the last time I was here. We interviewed a bunch of different trans women. One of the trans women was like a stunning German woman named Petra. And one of her kind of reflections that really came out at the end of the interview, we were like, okay, so anything else, got any questions or whatever? And this ended up being the total linchpin for our show, what she said. And she was like, basically that there's this word in German, Pissnelke, which translates to piss carnation, which basically comes from the fact that there are very otherworldly and beautiful and vibrant flowers that emerge from pools of piss on the sides of truck stops where people who are driving vans along the motorway stop and take a pee on the ground, and the nutrients from the pee gives rise to these gorgeous and otherworldly and beautiful and kind of alien-looking flowers. And she said that she kind of found this to be a metaphor for her experience and self-actualization as a trans woman. And me and Charlie just thought, oh my God, like that is the perfect way to describe kind of trans femininity.
That is, I'm so glad I didn't forget to ask you that, because I'm really glad to know that. That's absolutely beautiful.
And it's very memorable.
The name.
And people have a great look on their
Snappy.
People have a great look on their face when you say piss carnation and they're like, what carnation? And it's like they've never heard a swear word in their life.
That's great. Laurie, one thing that I like to do with people on this show is offer you the opportunity to make a confession. We all carry things around with us, and sometimes it can really help to get it off your chest and share the burden. And usually it's just me and a videographer in a little room, but this will be even more powerful because you can share it with all these folks out here. Only if you want to, but would you like to confess?
God, this is taking me back to Catholic school, girl. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. My dad is actually in the audience, my mum and my dad. Maybe that's my confession. My parents were in the audience for the sharing we just did, where I pretended to have an orgasm. I, at one point, all sorts was happening. But do I have a confession? I love Madonna.
Good. How do we feel about Madonna in the room? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Hold reception to Madonna. So that is actually a controversial statement.
Clearly.
Has
Madonna fallen out of favor? No. Okay. I was like, has she said something? Am I like breaking rank?
Why?
I've been listening and re-listening to Ray of Light, her album, recently.
Yeah, I've really had a deep dive into these kind of iconic two queers artists, and part of that was Madonna, and I was like in my late teens, and Ray of Light, I just didn't get it. And I've been going back to it.
Oh, so
recently.
you want to really fight?
What? No, I like it now. I'm telling you.
Joking.
And this will be my same trajectory with I Saw the TV Glow. I'll go, I didn't get it, and I talked to Laurie Ward about it, and then I saw that it was actually a masterpiece. Ray of Light, I was in a karaoke bar. I was in a karaoke bar in the basement of a Chinese restaurant in Hammersmith. Well, it's actually a hot pot karaoke.
Right.
So you do hot pot, and also there's karaoke happening. Mostly the lyrics are in Chinese, so it's a little bit of an extra challenge. And we were all quite drunk, and Ray of Light came on, and I was there with a slightly older friend of a friend, a gay man who's, God, he'll never listen. I guess 50. And we were talking. I was like, what did you feel when this album came out?
Right.
And he was like, it changed everything. Like, it was not,
Right.
we were so used to Madonna, and
Right.
then we got,
Om Shanti.
yes, and I sat with that, and then went back and re-listened to it, and it really is very good.
It's a crazy album.
It's insane.
On so many.
Absolutely demented.
So crazy.
Is that peak Madonna for you?
I think right now that's the Madonna I'm interested in. And I'm interested in Madonna at her most kind of wacko, and Kate Bush at her most wacko. And I think I'm kind of holding on to those kinds of albums. But the Madonna I always need is Like a Virgin.
Yeah.
That's the Madonna I always need and I always want.
And she'll always be there for you. That's the beauty of it, too.
Right.
I've set myself this crazy challenge for no reason. I've been having a blast all weekend interviewing some of the other visiting artists to the festival, which means that I've missed out on some of the sharings, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm going to go back and watch them. But I've been changing into a different color for every one, because I like to brighten up the place. And you mentioned that we're sort of sartorial opposites here,
Yes,
where I'm sunshine and the dark of the night.
Right.
But Laurie, I would like to know, what is your favorite color?
You would think I would have an answer for that by now. Oh.
Sorry, just one moment.
Hi, Laurie.
It's still ringing. Hello? Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait, it's all happening at once. It's all happening at once. Sorry, I can't hear you. There's so much going on. Yes? Oh, it's Laurie. It's for you.
Hello?
I couldn't, I think someone was trying to speak, but the phone was still ringing, and I was screaming.
Dad here. I wonder, do you ever channel your inner Kate Bush into your art?
Oh my God.
Be interested to know the answer to this one. Cheers.
Who was that speaking very faintly down from the other end of the line?
I believe that was the voice of my father.
How did he get my number? Laurie, could you restate the question?
Do you ever channel your inner Kate Bush in your performances?
Do you?
I'm feeling really shocked. I'm feeling
Yeah,
was
but
it
you didn't expect him to be in the room and on the phone.
in the room and appearing to me as a ghost? After I just spoke about Kate Bush.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
my
uncanny.
God, this is the most elaborate podcast I've ever been on.
Some would say it's not even a podcast. Given the fact that it has a multi-camera setup for every episode.
Right,
But
I feel like there's a trap door under me that you're about to pull.
we got some tricks up our sleeve. This might be a good time to channel your inner Kate Bush.
I'm gonna channel my inner Kate Bush. Do I ever channel my inner Kate Bush in my performances? No, but I should.
Do you have? I mean,
she's great.
he's made an assumption there, but do you actually have an inner Kate Bush?
I don't. No,
No.
I don't. I don't know that I haven't. I don't know that I channel anyone. I channel the character. I channel the character. No, but I do listen to a lot of Kate Bush when I write.
Right.
And I am generally very inspired by her brilliance and genius. And she is one of the artists of my life, for sure. Because when I was growing up, my dad always would play her in the house.
Your work is so, I call it multisensory. And as a kind of writer, maker, performer, is there one element that you are focusing on? Like, are you hearing it? Are you seeing it? Are you kind of like imagining your body in the space as you're thinking about what the work is going to be?
Yes, for sure. I mean, me and Charlie are like devisers. I would say that's our background. So this new work that we just shown, that's the kind of like first real instance of like playwriting that we've done. So that's been slightly different, but usually we're prop queens. So we come into the room, we have props. For Ugly Sisters, we had like a ball gown, a pair of pleaser heels, a bag of soil, a pair of bimbo lips, and some like crazy hair extensions. And we just kind of began honestly just trying to make each other laugh with these props and took it from there. And then I think like that embodied approach from the beginning then enters into the writing process where like when we're writing for one another's voices, and we're writing always with the like stage images in mind, and it's less so like how playwrights might kind of like write a script and have no or little thoughts on how the script would look on stage, and that kind of being the director's job.
Right.
We don't really, those boundaries are much more porous. We do work with directors. Ugly Sisters was directed by the brilliant Joanna Pidcock, shout out Joanna. But yeah, those boundaries are a lot more porous, so always writing with the images and with the atmosphere and with the bodies in mind, for sure.
I would love to know what you're proudest of. And I know that's a difficult question because they're all quite personal projects that have been with you for quite a lot of time.
Yeah, I think actually it's Ugly Sisters for sure. And I think I find that quite easy to say. I mean, Piscarnation is kind of like my kind of world and my kind of total like passion, and like working with Charlie is like everything. And I think our first show, still so proud of that. It was the show we needed to make at the time. And it was the show we made when we were both, well, I was 19, and we met at university, and we both went through like horrific breakups, and we just kind of collided together and made this total collision of a show that was kind of like totally uncompromising and wild. So I'm very proud of that for those reasons. But I think like formally as a piece of work, I think Ugly Sisters, I'm like so proud of the kind of rigor and the labor that went into that show. And I'm so proud that we can kind of like, we can stand by every decision we made in that show, like kind of artistically, politically, personally. It just feels like so good, and like so good to perform, and kind of like easy to perform, even though like people come up to us after shows and it's like, oh my God, that must be exhausting, that must be so draining, you're like putting your like heart on the line. I'm kind of like actually not really.
But it looks very fun as well.
It is very fun, and I feel like we put a lot of work into like it also being sustainable.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of us for that as well.
We don't have loads of time left, but I would love to just give the opportunity for any questions from the room before we wrap. Any questions? Oh, there's one in the back.
Hi, I'm Reese. I want to say three things. One, still think your work's incredible, and it was amazing what we saw at the share back. I've got kind of a serious theatre-y question and then kind of a silly one. So the kind of serious theatre-y one is, what have been some of the biggest hurdles in your kind of career and like setbacks that you've encountered, whether that is because of your trans identity or just in general trying to make theatre? And secondly, what's your opinion on Madonna's American Life album?
That one you'd struggle to change my mind about, I'm afraid, but...
Sorry, which one is American Life?
Correct answer.
Which one is that one?
It's the one. Do you want to sing us a little bit?
It's the one where she's like, I'm drinking a soy latte. It goes from my body.
Oh,
I know
right,
it's not just-
yeah.
That awful one.
I don't.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know her like that. But the brief, serious answer to the first question is that making fringe theatre work right now is totally impossible, or so it feels. And we all know this, so I'm not going to teach anyone how to suck eggs. But
But you
that's
could.
a phrase, right? That is a phrase. I just heard Charlie, my duo partner, go, what? I'm not going to preach to the choir, but funding is a mess. The producing structures in the subsidized theatre sector are kind of a mess, and it just feels really hard and like a real uphill battle to be trying to kind of come up and make work right now, especially our work, mine and Charlie's work, attempts to avoid easy, sellable answers or perspectives. And that can also feel like an uphill battle when that's why we're all going to theatre in the first place. Austerity Britain is making it hard to make work right now. But insert irreverent ending.
But there.
But
But here we are, and
But here we are,
you
yeah,
so-
here we are. No, but honestly, here we are, and thank you to Dr. Rachel Hand for gathering all of these creatives and trans people in the same place, because the moments where we get to feel like we are working in a community and as part of a scene are so rare. I am so lucky that I'm working as part of a duo, so we are one another's community and we are one another's artistic scene. But for so many of us, it can just feel like you're emailing and trying to bang on doors. So to be able to gather in person in one place with kind of money behind it is so special and profound. So thank you for doing
We can probably do one more question just in the back over there, Ryan.
In the spirit of this being the last event of the festival, I want to ask a question that I've been itching to ask all weekend, which is about realness. Which is to say, what is your reflection on the function of realness in a trans performance context? And what does performance give transness?
Whoa. An easy closing question. So, okay, I'll start with realness. My understanding of the word realness and how it functions is coming from the ballroom scene, and it has a kind of fraught and disidentificatory relationship to the real, right? It's like you're giving real, but in the very act of labeling it realness, you're also drawing attention to a failure at already being that. So just to kind of chew through that, I guess the question was about that and its relationship to kind of trans performance, right? I think that's interesting because it exposes the labor of transition and trans femininity in particular, and it exposes an attempt and a pursuit of something, and that is totally dramatic. And that kind of yearning and that pursuit of a goal that is ultimately unreachable. If you're like giving realness, it on a level implies, that you weren't already real. And because you weren't already real, you weren't already cisgender. There's an impossible pursuit there, almost. And I think someone said before something about transition being a journey without a destination. And this kind of yearning is something that I think drama can speak to really uniquely. I think when we go to a theatre, we're already yearning, and we're yearning for the thing we're about to see to, on the most fundamental level, speak to our experience and our lives, but at its best, totally unravel us. And I think that is what to me is profoundly beautiful about theatre, that the people who come into the auditorium almost have a hope to be undone by what they're about to see. That's what I hold on to when I make work, and when me and Charlie make work, our biggest ambition is to give catharsis.
Are we out of time? We're out of time. But what a wonderful note to end on. I just want to say, as we're drawing the weekend to a close, a huge thank you to Dr. Rachel Hahn. Thank you for having us. Yo! This woman has been ordering the pizza. Like, that is the level of details that she is responsible for. Thank you so much. It's been an incredible feat, and I think a moment that we will all really look back on as a rare time that all these people were in one room, and in Newcastle, no less. And I think that's really special, and I'm very grateful to you. I think I speak on behalf of everyone here. Also, huge thank you to Curious and Phil, all the Curious staff. It's been just a feat. You've been incredible. Huge thank you to the live staff and techs, and huge thank you as well to Max and Elliot and all the interpreters who have been here all weekend. Let's give them all a big round of applause. And one more time for Laurie Ward, folks. Laurie, I suppose there's just one more question left to ask, which is, Laurie Ward, can I have your number?
Yes, you absolutely can.
And when I put you in my phone, what should I make your ringtone, just so I know who's calling?
I guess after today, you should probably make it Ray of Light by Madonna.
Well, everybody, I hope you've had half as much fun as I have. Thank you so much.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed our first ever live recording of Chatti Patti. Chatti Patti is a podcast from Curious Arts and Patti Boo Productions. This episode was recorded by Matt Jamie and edited by TJmov. Follow Curious at Curious_Arts and me at Patti Boo Rae. See you next time.
Chatti Patti.